Good morning, everybody. I am Will Help, and let's do this. So, I haven't really gone over this, but good morning is more of a supplementary. It's not really stuff that's crucial for the comprehension of could help the series, but is still pretty cool, still pretty nifty stuff, things that are helpful in the long run. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Today we're going to start with a mouse. Yeah. What do you think about that? A little mouse. A little tiny mouse. Yes, sir. Mouse is roughly 18 to 35 grams of weight. Has a heart rate somewhere between 310 and 840 beats per minute. That is freaking fast. It's like, that's probably why they look so scared all the time. And they consume roughly 3 to 5 grams a day. So let's kick this up to a slightly more ferocious beast, the tiger. A tiger can weigh somewhere between 170 to 670 pounds. Their heart rate sits somewhere between 70 to 80 beats per minute. And they consume, well, usually it's within a day they consume about 100 pounds of meat. However, they will gorge themselves, and then for days and days and days, they will fast. We'll set that at about 20 to 30 pounds a day. We're going to move up to another class, the largest animal in the known world, and that is the blue whale, which sits at approximately 300,000 pounds, or 150 tons, and it consumes over 5,000 pounds of krill a day. Its heart rate sits at an impressively chill 8 to 10 beats per minute. So why am I listing all of these stats on these animals that seemingly unrelated? Well, there's this interesting trend that occurs. The amount of mass that an animal has and the amount of mass that it consumes tend to go in parallel. They follow the same slope. Inversely, the heart rate follows a trend line of its own through these different sizes. As the size goes up, the heart rate goes down. Scientists, of course, being the clever scientists they are, notice this. And they're like, well, hey, let's check out and see if maybe other, animals do the thing. Maybe this trend line continues through other animals. What if we got a bigger animal? There is no bigger animal. So, problem, solution. Clever scientist says, what if, hear me out, fellas, just we plug in this formula to something that kind of acts like an organism, but is not, traditionally an animal. So they plugged in a city. And it turns out the city do that too. Okay, we can measure, mass consumption and energy expenditure and sure, but the approximate mass of a city. So what about the heartbeat? Well, they determined a city beats its heart twice a day. Only 2 times in an entire day. Well, what would that heartbeat be? The 9 to 5 flow of traffic. That's not really a good example, as I'm currently driving on a back street with no other cars on it. So from there, scientists went bigger and bigger and started proposing and assuming like scientists do with their naughty assumptions. And they plugged in the planet. And then they plugged in, hypothetically, the universe. They were like, I wonder what would the universe's heartbeat be? What would represent the universe's heartbeat? And then, given the guesstimation of where it would plot along those slopes, they realized that the universe, from the beginning of time to the theoretical end of time, would only really have time to beat twice in the history of time. That's assuming that time starts with the Big Bang, of course, ends at the end of all things. And funnily enough, the heartbeat would be the Big Bang, and consequently, the Big Crunch. Now, if you've never heard of the Big Crunch, it's one of many proposed theories, like the Big Rip, in which expansion goes on forever and basically everything just comes apart. That is the dumbed down version of it. The Big Crunch is where, well, black holes get bigger and bigger as they go, because they keep amassing mass. Things keep getting caught within their gravitational pull, and given an eternal amount of time, they will eventually suck up everything, including other black holes. It's a situation in which a black hole follows into another black hole, and whichever is larger absorbs the other. And of course, all the matter that it has condensed into its center. Eventually, all matter would wind up in the same place. Now, this is only possible through entropy and through the idea that eventually expansion will stop. The universe has been expanding for approximately 13.8 billion years, and most scientists believe that it's going to continue expanding forever. But it's kind of predicated on a principle that, most science is based on, which is we assume it will do this because that's what it always do. But let's say it slows down for whatever reason. And don't worry about the reason, because scientists will see it, name it, and try to figure out why it do that. If the Big Bang is the first heartbeat and the Big Crunch is the second, where everything crunches back into one singularity and everything else is literally nothing. That sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Oh yes, the start of the Big Bang. What if there's a third heartbeat? What if the third heartbeat happens after? A beginning to everything again, after the end of everything. And it doesn't stop there. It's not proposed that this will happen. It's proposed that this may have already happened, and not just once, but many times. That the universe is in a state of constantly expanding and collapsing and then bouncing back once it gets to a finite point. So less of a Big Bang 2 and more of a Big Bang yet again. So basically, they're systems within systems. You have also systems within those systems, and those systems are part of the heartbeat of those systems. Within your body, every muscle fiber and eyelash, every mitochondria and red blood cell, every carbon and calcium atom, every proton, electron, and neutron, every up and down quark, they're all part of your system and your heartbeat. And you, in your turn, are part of the heartbeat of your family, of your workplace, of your ecosystem, of your planet, of your universe. We're all in this together. And we're all dancing to the heartbeat of the universe. So, I will help and try to enjoy the song. We've got the mouse, we've got the scared animal. Let's go up to the some ferocious tiger. Let me try that again. Oh, wow. Because I'm wearing polarized sunglasses. Wow. Wow. That's not what you want to do.
Good job, you.
Thank you.
I'm
Proud of myself. So why am Balam? Whoa, Betty.